For years, it waited inside him.
I need to stay calm. I can't let him out. Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
All it needed was an experience beyond the film.
Expecting someone else?
In a world of classic villains,
I killed the Hulk!
45 devastating attacks, 25 destructible environments.
Hey gamers, this is Cash here. This is going to be another video game review. Sorry I haven't reviewed in a while. It's been pretty busy and pretty hectic around the world of gaming, but I've done a couple movie reviews, but I want to review a classic video game that I grew up playing with, and this is The Hulk. The Hulk video game, to me, was my childhood right here, besides the Nintendo games and so what. After I got an Xbox, I played the hell out of this game and I really enjoyed it, so I wanted to review it for you guys. For all that the Hulk misses on, the game gets enough of the right tip and scales in its favor. So with the current rash of the comic book movies sweeping through Hollywood, the video game tie-in has partially become invincible. With Ang Lee's big screen movie The Hulk just around bombing, VU Games and Radical Entertainment have stepped up with a video game counterpart to the movie. At its core, The Hulk is a simple beat-em-up action game that delivers an enjoyable comic book style experience with plenty of destruction as well as fair share of flaws, in my opinion. So I also want to get into the game. Though it's a tie-in with the upcoming Universal, or should I say not the upcoming Universal, but the Universal picture from Ang Lee, the game pays only passing respect to the movie storyline. Instead of borrowing elements from both the film and the comic book series to create an entirely new adventure, the story it weaves, which pulls in the Hulk regulars like Betty Ross, General Riker, the Leader. The Leader's an awesome villain, and isn't terribly cohesive or compelling. The story is just a means to the end of being a series of scenarios where the Hulk can do some serious smashing. As the Hulk, you essentially will be running from one end of a level to another, beating on a variety of opponents, smashing through walls, and generally running through chaos and causing all hell. You occasionally run into like sections where you have to target something specific before you can advance to the next level, but for the most part the action is simple, fast-paced, and fairly brutal. The Hulk has his disposal of small yet arsenal of attacks, and they're simple. The first one is a simple punch attack, which you can tap for some quick 3-hit combos and hold in to charge up your punches. The charge up effect is pretty cool, especially when you use it for mid-jump, as if you were leaving or hanging in the air for a couple of beats before you launch toward your target and attack them. You can mix up 3-hit combos a hit by using the Hulk's hand clap attack, which is very used in the movies, which creates a sonic boom that can knock down and disorient enemies. So that's a good aspect for the Hulk and when you're attacking your enemies. The Hulk is also able to grab enemies and knock them around a bit or use them as projectiles. Actually, the Hulk can grab just about anything and use it as melee or a projective weapon, which is very awesome. And this ability is complemented by the game's semi-destructible environments. You can knock down pillars, break pipes, or bust straight through like the Hulk. The Hulk also has a rage meter that slowly fills up as you give and receive damage. Once the meter is filled, the Hulk gets even angrier, which is temporarily gives him punches and allows you to trigger some special attacks. The game, how you control it, has a joypad or keyboard support if you're playing with the PC, but I mostly played it on the Xbox, and I still played on the 360. And though the Hulk isn't that exciting, and using the keyboard alone works with surprisingly well for a lot of PC gamers, let's talk about the gameplay though.
To make that
The gameplay does an excellent job of making you feel like you're the Hulk. Simply jumping creates huge cracks in the floor. That's another thing I enjoyed about being the Hulk in this game. And your fighting will leave the environments in ruins. You also dish out a lot of damage to your enemies.
America was an escape.
There's a lot of strength to the numbers.
Science.
The game will throw a virtually never-ending stream of enemies at you. I mean, when I mean enemies, there's a lot of enemies that will come and attack you, including regular army men, gamma dogs, or a variety of gamma enhanced soldiers, kind of like in the Ang Lee's Hulk movie with the dumb dogs, and even some anti-Hulk robots. If you do not clear a room, it only takes a couple of seconds for more enemies to pour in, so usually plan your attack and beat back on the opposition just enough to move on to the next area. Unfortunately, the game breaks up simple but satisfying Hulk action sequences where you play as the Hulk's alter ego Bruce Banner, and that's another thing I want to talk about. I enjoyed this game just because of the fact that this is the only game that you could play as Bruce Banner and sneaking around and doing these little missions before you go into Hulk mode and you start attacking your enemies. As Bruce Banner, you could walk around, sneak around, kind of like Metal Gear Solid or Splinter Cell. It's kind of like that element of gameplay, and it's partially fun, but the Bruce Banner sequences in the Hulk really bring the whole experience a little down, as some people didn't like it, but I really enjoyed it. It was really engaging. It was pure just awesomeness when you became the Hulk. The story mode in the Hulk clocks in around probably 10 to 12 hours depending on how you play it. Hulk sections are good fun. The sheer gameplay that you would probably look in for an action game. Even if you want to deal more damage as the Hulk, the game also offers a survival mode. And what I mean by the survival mode is a time attack mode, and then your time, and you have to attack all these enemies within a certain amount of time. You get more points and you unlock different things for the game, like artwork, comic book covers, and all these different things. It's really cool. So that adds more gameplay to the game. The most striking visual aspect of the Hulk is the characters and how they're rendered. You're looking at the graphics, and they're kind of like cel shaded. I like that about the game. The action is simple, it's fast paced, and fairly brutal in my opinion. The environments are fun, destructible, and there's a lot of indoor locations. I know this isn't free roam Hulk like Incredible Hulk or Ultimate Destruction. A lot of people didn't really play this game, but I really enjoyed it. I mean, for being a level-based Hulk game, it's a lot of fun, and just the story is compelling to me. It's actually a lot better than how can I say it? Ang Lee's Hulk. I could even sit down for 5 minutes and watch Ang Lee's Hulk. It's just, I'll do a review on it for you guys. But this game is 10 times better than the movie. I'll tell you that right now. The leaders in here, I believe Abomination and a couple of other guys. I'm not gonna ruin it for you. And let's see. Oh, another thing, a flaw about the game that I did not like was when you're playing as Bruce Banner and sneaking around. You have to put in these codes. You have to figure out a puzzle in order for the door to open or go into the elevator. It was kind of a pain trying to get the code. Some people use cheat codes. I actually tried to play it until I got really pissed off. And I'm like, whatever, I'm just going to use a cheat code. But there's a very different puzzles that you have to solve, and it's kind of annoying. But however, the game's a lot of fun, has some bugs, but you'll get over it. The game gets enough action for you to enjoy it. So, and my final verdict for this game, I'll give it probably an 8 out of 10. Just because of the flaw that the puzzle solving is really annoying. It can get really frustrating for some people. But overall, I really had a satisfying experience with this game. I know it's old, but I would highly recommend it for a Hulk or action fan that would really just want to play something just to waste time until some good games come out. So I haven't seen a lot of reviews for this game. That's why another reason why I wanted to review it. So 8 out of 10, final verdict. Go pick it up. It's probably dirt cheap right now at your local like independent video game store. You could probably find it for like $5, $6. That's how I found it. So I'll talk to you guys later. This is Cash with another video game review. Peace out. Happy gaming, guys.